How's it going? Hi, Jane. It's great to see you. I gotta turn this computer down. How's it going? Hold on, guys. Hi, Jane. It's great to see you. I gotta turn this computer down. Hold on, guys. Mute. There we go. Okay. Hello, Cass. Hello. Cats 97 everything food in the house. Hi, Angela. It's great to see you guys. Hi, all my chefs that are on right now. So excited to see you. So excited to be repping for CCAP Los Angeles. What up, J Crispy? A perfect example of why I love CCAP. Paul Vitagliano, my friend, I love your face so much. I hope you and Princess Di, your lovely wife, are doing well. Man, we got a lot of people on. That's super exciting. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name's Monti Carlo. I am a chef. I am from Puerto Rico, and I love to cook Puerto Rican food. And that's what I'm going to be showing you today as I take over CCAP Los Angeles Instagram feed. Let's see, miss you in Arizona. Angela, thank you so much. Before I got started in the food game, I was a radio personality and a comedian. And Angela was one of my listeners for a morning show that I did in Phoenix, Arizona. I hope it's not 158 degrees in Arizona right now. I know it's only April, but that's just how they roll in the desert. Ahí, Puerto Rico representing. Very nice. XVI, I don't know. I'm sure that's a number, but my Roman numerals game is not very strong. So thanks for being here. XVI.ii. Mark and Christy joined. I'm going to say hello. I'm going to wave to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Okay. So I love CCAP for so many reasons, but the biggest reason is the absolute queens that run the organization here in Los Angeles, who have connected me with the most amazing students that I've had the blessing to hang out with and teach for a couple of years now. J Crispy was one of them, and what they do is they go into underserved neighborhoods, into underserved high schools, and they start cooking programs, and they give kids the skills that they need to, you know, make it work and get into a restaurant. And that's a beautiful thing. So I love them for that. I love that they teach kids not just the skills that they need to work in a restaurant, but they mentor them forever. Okay, they are in the fold. Once they're in the fold, they are in the fold forever, and they get a chance to be mentored through successes as well as hardships, which anyone in the hospitality industry knows it's a roller coaster ride. So I'm thankful that they're around, and I'm thankful that I get to be a part of their amazing game. So today I'm going to be talking about one of my favorite Puerto Rican desserts. It's arroz con dulce. Hi, Peggy and Chef Steph Candy in the house. You guys are amazing. I love this so much. Thank you for being here. Arroz con dulce is a rice pudding, and of course every country in the whole wide world has their version of rice pudding, right? Some are thickened just with the starch and the actual grain of the rice, and others are thickened with egg yolk. In Puerto Rico, we thicken just with the starch in the grain of the rice. So maybe we should start first talking about rice. The grain that we use in Puerto Rico is, I'm about to show off my non-manicure. It's a very little tiny, can you see? Oh, I dropped it. I'm gonna try that again. Can you see the size of this little grain of rice? It's pearl rice, so it's a short grain. And of course, rice comes in long grain, rice comes in medium grain, and rice comes in short grain. And what that means is basically it's the width and the length of the rice, okay? So if you have like a long grain rice, that's great for preparations where since that grain doesn't have a lot of starch, it's great for preparations where you want those grains to be fluffy and separated. But with a pudding, we want a rice that has a ton of starch so we can develop creaminess. And that's why you should always make sure that the rice that you're using is either medium grain or short grain, okay? In Puerto Rico, where I'm from, we always use arroz tipo valenciano. I know that this is probably backwards for you guys, but this is just a pearl rice, California pearl rice. And what you're gonna do, step one, is soak that rice overnight, okay? If you aren't writing all this stuff down, it's okay. I have the recipe posted for you at everythingfood.com. It's the company that I co-founded to help you figure out the nutrition of all of your food and to help you hack the online delivery game when it comes to groceries. I've got a recipe blog there and you can find this recipe there. But step one, soak the rice overnight. What does that do? Can anyone tell me what it does to rice grains when they are soaked overnight? Do I have any students here? Anyone? Anyone? I feel like the guy on Ferris Bueller's Day Off. He had a really great career afterwards as a game show host. What was his name? I don't remember. Okay, soaking the rice overnight allows you to shorten the cooking time. It allows you to shorten the cooking time because that rice is going to start absorbing that liquid. So make sure not to skip that step if you want a beautiful creamy pudding that isn't a bunch of mush, okay? First step, soaking the rice. Second step, placing a Dutch oven over medium-high heat, and you're gonna add coconut milk. This is not sweetened coconut milk. This is regular coconut milk. I'm obviously in love with the brand Goya. It's what I grew up with in Puerto Rico. Woo! Fire. You're gonna do 3 cans of coconut milk. Now, traditionally, this rice pudding is used during the holidays. It's like the national holiday dessert in Puerto Rico, rice pudding, arroz con dulce. And it's made with coconut milk because back in the way back, milk was a luxury in Puerto Rico. And coconuts were everywhere. They still are. They grow all over the island. So you're gonna do 3 cans of coconut milk. My math game, not the best, but 14 times 3, 52 ounces. If that's wrong, call me out. Anyway, you are gonna let that start to warm up, and to that you are gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt. Because we're making a sweet dessert style preparation, you always wanna add a little bit of salt so it doesn't become overly sweet and sugar is all you can taste. Adding that salt is going to help bring out the flavor profiles of all the other ingredients. Then we're going to have a vanilla bean. If you don't have vanilla beans, I know they're expensive, you can substitute with, let me see, the conversion rate is 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract. But I love vanilla beans. And we're gonna put that right into the coconut milk. We're also going to add 4 cinnamon sticks. If you don't have cinnamon sticks, I get it, they're hard to come by right now, as is everything. So you're gonna substitute 2 teaspoons of ground cinnamon. And then we have 8 cloves. Oh, I love the way cloves smell. You know, my mama's Colombian, and boy, did they do a lot of crazy witchcraft with cloves. It's true, man. In Puerto Rico, oh, allspice. You know how people here use allspice in their desserts with star anise and the whole 9? Allspice in Puerto Rico is basically used for spells. It's part of the religion there, the fufu, la fufuria. All right. There we go. So now you can see that this is already steaming. I hope you can see that it's steaming. We're going to bring this to a boil. And once it's to a boil, we are going to take it off the heat and allow that coconut milk to steep and infuse that broth with these amazing flavors. Does anyone have questions about Puerto Rico or Puerto Rican cuisine? I feel like I see nothing happening, and that makes me sad. Any questions about Puerto Rican cuisine? Okay, well, how about I tell you how these ingredients came to Puerto Rico? Okay, awesome. Puerto Rico was an island inhabited by Indians, Taino Indians. They were the natives. And the Spaniards came towards the end of the 1400s and decided, you know what, we're gonna own this island. And so they brought to Puerto Rico big ships with African slaves, spices, dairy, pigs, all sorts of different fruits and vegetables, bread, the whole 9 yards, things that hadn't really been on the island ever. And one of those things was rice, believe it or not. I know there's a joke about Puerto Ricans loving their beans and rice, and it's not actually a joke. I mean, it's true. We love beans and rice, okay? But I mean, rice is not something that was on the island before the Spanish came and conquered it. So with the rice and the slaves came the cultivation of rice by the slaves and by the Taino Indians, who were enslaved as well. And they made it into an incredible dessert. They did. They used the cinnamon and the nutmeg and all of these other spices that were brought in by immigrants, like the Chinese, like the French, like the Italian and the Dutch, who were given free land in Puerto Rico as long as they were gonna be loyal to the Spanish crown, as long as they swore their loyalty to the Spanish crown according to the degree of graces. They were given a certain amount of property and allowed to cultivate it. So with all of these cultures came a cuisine that is known as cocina criolla, which is the Puerto Rican culinary creation that is, for me, one of the things I'm most proud of. I feel like it's one of the first true fusion cuisines, and it brings together so many different influences. In this little dish alone, we have Spanish, we have African, we have Chinese influence. And it's a beautiful thing to see. It really is. Can you see that this is already steaming? Okay, we're gonna turn it off. And we are letting it steep for just another minute. Turn off. And, oh, let me grab something to grab this with. And we're gonna strain it in just a minute, but first I'm gonna add some ginger to it. Ginger root was one of the roots found in the Caribbean and also brought by Chinese slaves and eventually landowners and cultivated. And it's a big part of Puerto Rican cuisine. If you've never peeled ginger root, you should just do it with a spoon. It's so much easier. You just scrape the spoon towards you if you can, and that helps take all of the nasty, gross skin off of it. It's a gross looking skin on the ginger root, right? I know. We're gonna do about 2 tablespoons of ginger root. You can grate this if you want. I'm a sucker for the easy way out, so I'm just gonna slice it because we're gonna strain it out of this mixture anyway. Okay. So, let's slice up our ginger root in about 1/4 inch thick planks. If you've never held a knife before, this is how you do it. You don't do it like this, okay? That's a very scary thing. When I see people holding knives like this, I'm like, what are they doing after work? I don't know. It doesn't look right. You know what I mean? You hold a knife by pinching the blade between your thumb and your index finger, like so. And then the last 3 fingers of your hand, you curl them around the handle butt it up against the heel of the knife, like so. So this is a proper knife grip, and what you're looking to do is to have it just be an extension of your arm. So if you're in a kitchen chopping, 30 pounds of potatoes, which happens on the daily, you're not going to hurt yourself. All right, tip of the knife, heel of the knife. The reason that this knife is shaped like a rocking chair is because that's the motion. It's the motion that you're going to go in, tip to heel to slice. So we're going to go tip to heel to slice this beautiful aromatic ginger. It smells so good. In about 1/4 inch slices. We're looking for about 2 tablespoons. You don't have to be exact here. Just, make it work. So that's going to steep for a few minutes. Oh, it's so good. And while that steeps, the beautiful ladies of CCAP wanted me to talk to you about how I got started in the kitchen. So, is this thing still on? I don't know. Are you guys still there? Is this happening? Wolverine style, says River Swan. Chef Steph Candy says that's great information for my international food class. Chef Steph Candy, I love your face, and I promise you guys, and I'm going to try to make it to your classes sometime soon when all of this is over. I promise with everything I have. Okay, so, oh my gosh. I hate talking about this because I always get super crazy pants emotional, but I'm not doing it this time because I had so much chocolate before I started this, okay? And chocolate makes me so happy. All right, so I got started in food in 2010. Oh my God, ladies, you guys are gonna have to buy me so much cake. And so I lost everything. I lost everything. And that's going to happen to you guys. A lot of these students that are on here right now, you're very young and you might have already gone through some pretty serious obstacles. I certainly did by the time I was your age. But that's life. There's ups and downs. And in 2010, I happened to be on a downswing. I had left my job. I'd left my marriage. I had a 1.5-year-old little boy. I had to pretty much sell everything I owned to pay our rent and keep us in this little tiny studio apartment in Los Angeles. And I saw an audition for Master Chef. And my friend, who was a cameraman, was like, you know what? If you make it on camera for this reality show, they have to give you $50. And at that point in my life, $50 was a big deal. I mean, we were living on a $10 a day budget. And for those of you who have multiplied and have babies, that included diapers, as you know, very expensive. So I was sort of living off of coffee and dollar store ingredients. So I could have used that $50. It was a whole heck of a lot of money for me. So I went and I auditioned for Master Chef. Now, the audition write-up on the internet, on the interwebs that I found, said you had to come with a dish. The only problem was that I didn't have any food in the house. The only food I had in the house were these little Honey Crisp apples that my son, Danger, yes, his name is Danger, and it's the most amazing name, and if you disagree with that, I cannot be friends with you. Anyway, Honey Crisp apples, his favorite, and I decided to use the Honey Crisp apples to make an apple pie. Now, at this point in my life, the only recipe I had mastered was apple pie. And that was because I loved to chop apples and pretend that they were my ex-husband's face because I hadn't been to a lot of therapy at that time. So that was my therapy. I made a lot of apple pies and my house always smelled awesome. And yeah, I figured I'm just gonna bring these pies to this Master Chef audition. So I didn't even have enough to make a whole pie. So I made 3 tiny little baby pies. I had to use the cream for my coffee, so I had to drink my coffee black for the week, which was the worst. But I did it. I made the caramel and I sliced these 4 little Honeycrisp apples and I made some dough, and what do you know? I walked up to the MasterChef audition where I was shocked to find hundreds of other people there. I was like, man, a lot of people want to audition for this show. I had no idea. I'd never even seen the show. Yeah, so we were in line for like 3 hours. And I just want to point out to you that I didn't have anything to carry my pies in. So I carried them in because I'm so classy. More than anything else, you guys, what I want you to remember about me is I am the classiest person you've ever met, okay? I carried these pies in a diaper box. I emptied out one of my son's diaper boxes and strung my dog's collar around, you know, his leash around the handles of this diaper box, and that's how I strutted up to my MasterChef audition. 3 hours later, I was real hungry. If you've ever hung out with me, you know I need to have my sugars. I need to get food at least once every hour and a half, where I get very upset. I get really teary, okay? And at this point, it had been 3 hours. I hadn't eaten. So I sat down and I started eating the pies straight out of this diaper box. I hadn't even had the foresight to bring utensils, so I was just scooping them out with my hands like an animal. And that is how one of the producers found me and said, you're obviously a crazy person. You need to be in front of the producers. And so they put me in front of 10 really fancy pants MasterChef producers to talk about the world of cuisine and what I knew about culinary, which at that point in my life was not much. And they were like, what are the mother sauces? And I had no idea what a mother sauce was. So I answered cheese, ketchup, barbecue, you know, all wrong. I answered all wrong. But they were laughing. I kept making them laugh. And so they decided that they were gonna allow me to present a dish to Gordon Ramsay. And they were gonna give me 6 weeks to up my culinary game and then make a dish for Gordon in this warehouse in Compton. So for 6 weeks, again, I was really, really broke. I didn't have much money at all, so it's not like I could afford culinary classes or anything like that. So I would go to the library and check out cookbooks, and I would go online and read about all sorts of different culinary techniques. And during the day, I would watch my son and make pastas and breads and all sorts of incredible stuff. And then at night while he slept, I studied. And that's what I did for 6 weeks. And then I got the opportunity to make a dish for Gordon Ramsay. And when I got that opportunity, I didn't want to make him this angry little apple pie. I wanted to really show him the flavors that made me who I am. And that's sort of how I began my journey in finding my point of view when it comes to cuisine. I wanted him to taste the flavors of Puerto Rico, the flavors of my childhood, the flavors that bring me back home. I love my island so much, you guys. And it's so hard for me to talk about this stuff because, you know, it's really crazy to me that this happened about 8 years ago. And obviously Gordon gave me an apron and he kept me in that kitchen, even though I set fire to it like 3 times. But he really, that man changed my whole life, and I will owe him forever. And if anyone ever says anything bad about him to my face, I will wrestle you to the ground because he is amazing. And I'm telling you this story because I know that a lot of you are going through a rough time right now with what's happening with coronavirus. I knew I was gonna cry. I know my friends in the hospitality industry are just really struggling. So I just want to encourage you, because sometimes the craziest points in your life, the darkest points in your life, deliver the most amazing gift. I would have never auditioned for MasterChef if my life hadn't completely fallen apart and I hadn't hit rock bottom, you know? So for those of you that are struggling through this pandemic, my heart is with you. My thoughts and my prayers are always with you. And just know that something great is coming, and that when you are challenged, it is a great opportunity for you to grow. And that's what I did. I grew. I didn't win MasterChef, but I ended up cooking in some great kitchens in LA. And from then I got to host a show for FYI. Then Food Network came calling, and Cooking Channel. And now, 8 years later, I've co-founded a company called everythingfood.com, which I certainly hope that you check out, everythingfood.com. And we not only tell you the quality of over 300,000 foods, and I mean how they were grown, how they were processed, if they were exposed to any chemicals, if they're made with GMOs. We tell you all of that stuff, but more importantly, right now, if you go to everythingfood.com, you can create one shopping list, and then you can shop it on every single grocer that delivers to your zip code with one click, which is so awesome. And then you can compare prices, and you can compare ingredients to see who has your inventory, and you can even compare delivery dates to see who's going to bring your food faster, which is so important right now. Chef Emerson Mahana, who I love so much. Oh my God, Chef Emerson, I love you the most, my love. Someone likes pizza. I can't read because my mascara is burning my eye sockets. This is amazing. The come up is real. Oh, thank you. As a first-year student at Johnson & Wales University, majoring in culinary arts and food service management, what advice do you have for me? Well, my love, the advice that I have for you is simple. It's keep cooking, keep cooking, stay curious, read a lot. I mean, figure out who came before you and what they did, and who those giants are, who are the women that changed cuisine, who are the men that changed cuisine, but really focus on the women because they don't get a lot of love, figure that out. And figure out your voice, really figure out what it is that you want to say. What are you going to say that nobody else has said? Why should you have the opportunity to have your voice be heard in the world of culinary? Junior Chef Maria, I am the Puerto Rican. Oh, hi, Chef Greco. Hi, Junior Chef Maria. I was on MC Season 6. Junior, great for you. I love that. Thank you so much. Never stop learning, says Mad Crumbs. You're right, never stop learning. Now that I have made a complete jerk of myself and cried in the first 10 minutes of this live, oh my God, the ladies of CCAP, I love you the most, but you better send me cheesecake. This has steeped, so we're gonna strain it, okay? And for those of you that just tuned in, we're making a Puerto Rican rice pudding. And it's one of my favorite desserts because you can make a lot of it, you can make it rolled cheap, and it's delicious. It's not like regular rice pudding. It's got coconut milk and cream of coconut, which is sort of like condensed milk, but coconut flavored. It's the best. So, what are you guys saying? Come visit my parents' food truck here in LA. My love, I would really be so thankful to have the opportunity to leave my home, but I am a complete germaphobe and have not left my home in over 30 days for fear of the corona. So when all this is over, you send me an email, okay, and I will go. It's themonticarlo@gmail.com. I don't know if this is the smartest thing I've ever done, giving my email address out on an Instagram Live, but there it is. Send me an email, and once this is all over, and I don't have to wear a face mask to leave my home, I would love to visit their food truck, okay? The triple threat truck, I love it. Hey, J. Rue, what's up? You miss me losing my mind crying, talking about Gordon Ramsay saving my life. P.S. For those of you that have TV, which I'm sure is everybody, I have a new TV show debuting tomorrow where I get to talk about Puerto Rican food and present Puerto Rican food to the Taste Made TV audience, okay? I'm super stoked. It airs at 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern. I'm really bad with numbers, but I think I nailed that. On Taste Made TV, and you can get that on Apple TV, Roku, all sorts of different places. You can go to tastemade.com, and they have more information for you there as well. I'm cooking the dishes that changed my life. I'm gonna cook the apple pie that Gordon Ramsay, that allowed me to get an audition with Gordon Ramsay. And I'm also gonna cook the pastelón, which is the recipe that I made for Gordon Ramsay that scored me my Master Chef apron, which is here. I framed it, because you know, you gotta always remember where you came from. And that's where I came from, the Master Chef kitchen. All right, so this is steeped. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's so good. I'm going to strain it because you don't want anyone biting into your delicious rice pudding and then chipping a tooth on a clove or biting into like this big chunk of ginger. That's never a good look, right? With this vanilla bean, please don't throw vanilla beans away, and don't throw the cinnamon sticks away either. You can put those in a little Tupperware with sugar, and you can make cinnamon sugar, cinnamon vanilla sugar. Put that in your coffee. Put that on whatever. It's so good. So don't throw them away, okay? They're still very, very yummy. I just did a slit on this vanilla bean, and I'm just gonna open it up. And if you've never actually worked with a real vanilla bean, man, you are missing out. I know they are expensive, but it's worth it. It's worth it, okay? So here it is. Here's what it looks like on the inside. And those are the little seeds right there. Can you see that? Those are the little seeds. So we're gonna scrape those by holding the end of the vanilla bean using the back of our knife and just scraping it out. Boom. And then I have them all, and I'm gonna put them in my beautiful, beautiful broth that is so aromatic. I'm gonna take this off, and now we're ready for rice pudding. Oh my goodness. We're gonna turn this on. I'm gonna put this on medium heat. And what does this say? I am sending you a DM to confirm your email address. Thank you, my love. I would love to meet you. I would love to meet you. Let's get this done. Cookies and cakes, join. Hi, cookies and cakes. I'm gonna wave to you. I made mofongo with lamb chops. Way to go. XDI says, yes, the orgullo is real. My Puerto Rican people, I love you the most. Can I tell you, Puerto Rican people are my favorite people in the whole wide world. Nothing against other people, but there is just something special sauce about the people of Puerto Rico. You just gotta go and check out the island. You'll take 1 foot on that island and you'll be like, it's hella different here. It's hella amazing. Do it one time, go, it's open. It's open for tourism. The food is amazing. Puerto Rico is where it's at. I'm going to use this recipe for my coworkers at the fire station. Thank you so much, Jairo, for being an incredible firefighter. That's so brave. That's amazing. I fight fires too, Hyro. But only because I'm careless, okay? But nothing like super amazing like what you do. Just like stupid little kitchen fires because I forget sometimes. Danger and I start watching RuPaul's Drag Race and then we forget about the reality of time when you have something on a stove or in an oven. Okay, so this is getting nice and warm. I'm gonna do a second strain as I pour the coconut milk into, yes, into our pan. And as you can see, we had a couple of little things that we did not want in that coconut milk, so that's good. Oh my goodness. You guys should be so jealous right now. Powerful story, says Boardman Eric. Go with your heart, soul, and history. Well, that's really generous, Boardman Eric. May I call you Eric? Thank you so much for watching this live and for being super cool and learning how to make a Puerto Rican dish. By the way, you guys, this full recipe is on everythingfood.com. It's really, really easy to make with ingredients that you have in your pantry. I'm gonna use some fresh milk that's almost expired, so I'm gonna use it because I don't want to waste food. But traditionally in Puerto Rico, we use evaporated milk, and I have all of that for you on the website. So again, we had 3 cans of coconut milk that we steeped with a little salt, vanilla beans, cinnamon sticks, fresh ginger, and cloves. And now we're gonna add some raisins. In Puerto Rico, we love our rum. And a lot of times we will steep the raisins in a dark rum. Oh, beyond. But since I know there's a lot of kids here, and also since my kiddo is gonna be eating this, I'm not gonna steep the raisins in rum. But I will think about it and wish I had, okay? Because it's real good when you do that. Anyway, these are just a half a cup of raisins. You can use golden raisins if you want. These are just regular California raisins. I didn't mean to call them regular to their face, but it happens. So, we're gonna let those come to a boil in our coconut broth. And then, oh, it's almost at a boil right now. I don't know if you guys have these things, these induction cooktops. Get some of that in your life. They work really well. Okay, now I'm gonna add our pearl rice. And this is 2 cups of pearl rice. It was soaked overnight. Wash it first to remove some of the starches. You shouldn't wash all rice, okay? Some rice is enriched, and that means that once the rice is processed, manufacturers spray it down with vitamins. And so if you wash it, you're washing away all the vitamins. In Puerto Rico, we do rely heavily on enriched rice, and we still wash it because that's what our grandmamas and our great-grandmas did forever. And so it's really hard for us to break with tradition. But, you know, if you want to get all those vitamins, don't wash the rice. Okay. We let this rice soak overnight at room temperature. You don't have to put it in the refrigerator. Only put it in the fridge if you've got a bug problem. You know who you are. If you've got a bug problem, put the rice in the fridge. You don't want anything crawling into it. But otherwise, it's okay to soak it at room temperature overnight. And then strain it and add it to your coconut milk that has been steeped with aromatics. Now, sometimes people put a little lemon peel in the coconut milk. I don't do any of that. This is how my grandma used to make it. And let me tell you something. My grandma was mean, okay? My abuela, lovely woman, I love her. But don't you be fussing with her food. Don't you be going in that fridge and trying to get that rice pudding, boy. She'd come at you, man. So this always reminds me of her. trying to keep me out of the fridge, trying to keep my hands out of that rice pudding because I was a dirty child. I would just stick my whole hand in that rice pudding and take it out by the scoop. She would get so mad. I see some of you are giving me hearts. I feel like maybe you were dirty kids too. Amazing. Glad to see you. All right, let me see what we got. What else? Oh my gosh, so many comments. We can make mofongo. I actually, you know what? On this new series for Tastemade, every Friday, 3 o'clock on Tastemade TV, I'm actually sharing mofongo, the recipe, with you. I'm sharing a bunch of Puerto Rican recipes. Even better, the part that I'm so excited about being on Tastemade TV right now is that I get to be there on 2 episodes with Giovanna Heike, who is the Julia Child of Puerto Rican cuisine. So imagine, 8 years ago, me trying to learn Puerto Rican recipes using dollar store ingredients, trying to figure out what it was that I wanted to present to Gordon Ramsay. And 8 years later, I get to cook shoulder to shoulder with the Julia Child of Puerto Rican cuisine. That's what hard work and determination does. So whatever it is that your dream is, don't give up. You keep plugging along. It's gonna happen for you. I mean it. Okay, Chef Steph Candy, I love your face. She's like, you're doing great, Monty. I want one of those cheesecakes, Steph. Don't think I wasn't looking at everybody getting their cheesecake going, where's my cheesecake? Chef has taken the pandemic as an excuse to make the most amazing food because she's obviously a culinary instructor like myself and an incredible chef. But you know, she lives like really far away from me. But she goes to all her friends and her neighbors and she drops off food for them. She like knocks on their door and runs away before they answer the door, and then they open their door and they have like the most amazing stuff. Like Basque cheesecake. I saw that, Steph. You need to make it to Glendale one day. That looked good. All right. This is starting to thicken, and you'll be able to tell as you stir that it's going to start to thicken. Once that broth starts to thicken, we are going to get our coconut cream. Now, why is this open from the bottom? Okay, I like to open it from the bottom because at the top is a real heavy dose of all of that coconut cream, and it can be waxy when it cools. So I reserve that cream to use as a dip for like bananas and mangoes or anything else, okay? But you open the can upside down from the bottom so you can score all that delicious liquid. You see it coming out? Can you see that? Yeah, without getting all of that waxy coconut cream that has kind of congealed at the top of the can. I'll show you what that looks like. See? This is great. It's super delicious, but because we're going to put our rice pudding in the fridge, when it cools, it develops kind of a waxiness, and ain't nobody got time for that, right? All right, let's see what else we got going on here. Junior Chef, what up, Boardman? Miss DeVito, hi, nice to see you. What up, the Asian Gabe? Nice to see you. Oh yes, period, you go girl. I love you. Can I be on your show someday? Junior Chef Maria, you are a little go-getter. Get it, girl. That makes me proud. Of course you can. You just have your mama write me, okay? Don't you be writing me emails. I can't be talking to a child. You have your mama write me, all right? And we'll work it out, okay? What's the best way to get your name out there? From Sienna Likes Pizza. Well, it's really about content right now, you know? Providing content. You really got to make that content. So I try to do content as much as possible. It can be difficult to find the time because I'm a mom and I'm responsible for keeping another human being alive, and that is a lot more complicated than it sounds. So that can be hard. but you got to figure it out. Make the time to create content. But before you start creating content, my love, really figure out what it is that you want to say. Study. Figure out, you know, who you are, where you came from, what you want to bring to the plate, what do you want to bring to the culinary world. For me, you know, I worked at restaurants. It wasn't for me. God bless all of my chefs that work in restaurants. You are soldiers. I can't do it. It's just not for me. When you work at a restaurant, you have to be married to that restaurant. You have to be there every hour of the day, pretty much. And I have a little boy, and, you know, he's Puerto Rican, so I got to be in his life. I got to keep him out of jail. That's what you got to do as a parent. You got to be in their lives and show them right from wrong. Teach them how to make all the good things like pancakes. You know, those things. So what I really enjoy doing more than anything else is teaching. And that's, I found my calling when I started volunteering to work for organizations that teach kids how to cook. So CCAP, or an organization like Common Threads, or LA City College. These are all places where I teach. I taught at Sur La Table. I do cooking demos all around the country. And I really understood more than anything else that in those moments when I was showing people how to make incredible food, and they were learning it and they were eating it for the first time, this thing that they created, it was so amazing and magical, and that to me was the best. And that's why I decided that I, you know, would rather teach. So that's what I do, and I co-founded everythingfood.com to teach people how to not get fooled at the supermarket, because unfortunately the food system in this country is upside down. It is crazy pants, bananas wrong, okay? For real. I mean, in this country it's perfectly legal for people to sell olive oil that's actually just vegetable oil with a little food coloring and just a few drops of olive oil, and they can call it extra virgin. That's perfectly legal here. So that's why we invented everythingfood.com, to help you scan food, and then right away you get a quality score and you can see all of the secrets. It's like a background check for your food. You know that website, Don't Date 'Em Girl? It's like that, but for your food. It's really great. I guess figuring that part out is also a part of the journey. Thank you for your kind and inspiring words. Oh, Sienna, of course. Of course. I mean, listen, thank you for being here. Are you serious? This is awesome. Super excited. This is 2 cups of milk. Usually in Puerto Rico, you would use evaporated milk, but this milk is about to go bad, so I don't want to waste it, and I'm just going to use it. Again, you can find this whole recipe on everythingfood.com. Okay, so we're just going to let this go. We're going to turn up the heat just a little bit. Ooh, I love coconut milk. So, oh, I wish you guys were here for this. I can't wait. We're just going to let this cook down. And it's going to cook for a few minutes, okay? And you're going to start seeing, when it bubbles, you're going to start seeing that rice come through the surface. And that is when you cover the lid, lower the heat, and just let it steep for a little bit. It's going to take about 20 minutes until those rice grains have softened. And man, is it going to be... This is my beautiful set that was styled by the one and only Kathleen Delgado, Vintage Weave, on Instagram. She is a rock star. She came over one day and was like, I'm gonna help you out, girl. I need some help. So she's the one that did my set. Anyway, that's pretty much the whole recipe, you guys. So if you have any questions, this is the perfect time, because I can actually read them now that the phone is closer to me. So let's see. Salt, Sugar, Fat by Michael Moss is a great read. Says Sienna. Yes. Oh my God. Yes, girl. She says the book is actually about the twists and turns in the American food business. It is incredible, the kinds of dirty that we are being dealt with our food here in the States. But that's why Everything Food wants to bring transparency to our food system. That's it. It's a simple ask. We just want it to be real easy for you to know what's in your food. We're not going to judge you. I'm not a judger. I ate my weight in chocolate for breakfast this morning. So, you know, I just like to know that the chocolate I'm eating doesn't have a ton of chemicals in it. And that's why I scan it first with the Everything Food app. What else we got? Will you be making asopao on your Taste Made show? Chris, I love that. Chris in Tucson. And by the way, Chris used to listen to my show in Tucson too. We've been social media friends for many years now. I won't be making asopao. I'm hoping that they ask me to do more episodes. I did 4 episodes, and I did a piñón, I did an apple pie, I did arroz con, I did rice and beans. I almost started talking Spanish to you, Chris. Forgive me. I had Giovanna Heike come in. She made farmer's rice. She made this beautiful, hold on, I gotta walk through I gotta sit, because let me tell you something, I'm in my 40s, guys. I don't like standing up for too long. So, this is my set. That's what it looks like. Okay, I'm gonna sit down. Yummy. Oh, so good. Okay. Thank you, Monty. Love it all. So no, I won't be making asopao, but I'll be making a ton of other, I think like 12 different Puerto Rican recipes. It's on Taste Made Fridays at 3 Pacific. And I'll be posting a ton about it, and I really hope that you get to check it out. Let's see, what else? I guess I figured out my 5-year plan. Ooh, get it, 5-year plan. Amazing. Okay, so I think I'm gonna wrap things up, you guys, unless you have any more questions for me. I just want to say thank you so much to the queens of CCAP, who right now are giving away almost $500,000 in scholarships to kids in underserved neighborhoods who have been working their butts off with CCAP for years now. And they are literally gonna pay for their culinary school. So this organization is the absolute best. You know, if you have it in you to support, I understand this can be tough times on your wallet right now, but if you have it in you to support incredible organizations, CCAP is just one of those incredible organizations. They change lives. They really do, you know? It's a gift to have your life changed. Gordon Ramsay changed my life, you know? He's obviously not going to be doing that for everybody, though he tries. But the women of CCAP, in a much more humble and quiet way, change many more lives than Gordon ever has. You know, they literally every year help out kids that don't think they have a future and don't feel like they have anyone that cares about them or what they do. And so they become these incredible mentors, and I mean, some of them have even given them places to live. I've seen it happen. These women are amazing and bomb and just the best. So I cannot show them enough love. You can obviously go to CCAP Los Angeles on Instagram to figure out how to get to their website and figure out how to donate if you have it in you. If you are a chef and you know you've got some free time on your hands right now, you know, contact them and see what you can do to help these kids out, because these kids still need to be taught, right? So we can do it online. Maybe you'll be better at it than I am. This was a little bit of a wreck, but I'm glad that you were here for it. It was my complete honor to cook one of my favorite desserts. You can get the full recipe at everythingfood.com. Sienna says, thank you for the inspiration. I will carry this experience with me on my journey. Sienna, I hope to one day work alongside you. Oh, thank you for CCAP as well. Definitely changed my life for the better. Right, girl? I know, they're great ladies. Love CCAP LA, says River Swan, who is the most gorgeous woman. Thanks, Monty. This was fantastic. Thank you so much. San Fernando High School is where Chef Hart teaches, and she's just the coolest lady ever. Thank you for all that you do for kids here in Los Angeles, because they need you. And I need you, because you give me inspiration. You guys give me inspiration. Anyway, I'm going to sign off. This has been amazing. I'm going to be eating rice pudding for like a week straight, and I'm so thankful for it. Don't forget that you should definitely check out everythingfood.com, especially if you've been doing online groceries and they haven't been to your satisfaction. We have an algorithm that allows you to make one shopping list, and you can take that one list with one click and shop it into every single cart of every single online grocer that delivers to your zip code. And then you can compare prices, you can compare inventory, and you can compare delivery dates. So that's right there at everythingfood.com. Thank you, CCAP. Thank you guys for being here. I love you the most. And if you have any questions, please feel free to message me, the Monti Carlo on Instagram. Mwah, mwah, mwah. I'm gonna go eat some pudding. Yes.